considering this tough game after the red card, there was a sense of the team fighting towards the end. What is something that, like, say, in training, has been worked on compared to in the previous games where it felt like the I would say the energy or just there wasn't enough of aggressiveness compared to today.
Tonight they're obviously down a guy, so they're running, pushing, and suffering. We do things in training. If you're asking, how do you create some of that? We do things in training where the guys are down a man, and now they have to suffer for a bit. And how do you control the game? In small-sided, whether it's 6v5 or 9v8, certain things that help bring that element around so that you can communicate and deal with the adversity. And the guys' work rate and work ethic and ability to compete and grind is always been fantastic. I think physically we put a lot into these games, but it's disappointing. They worked extremely hard in this game, and it'd be hard for me to say in any game that they don't put forth big effort.
The defense, there's been a lot of injuries that had happened this season. However, we're getting players that are defenders in the game or starting, for example, Cascante and Rado. How is that for you in terms of the line, the back line especially, considering you're going to have a team like Dallas that has Ferreira and Arriola? What is something that you guys worked on, especially after Redes got the red card?
So I think you saw we switched a little bit of how we were defending in the back line. Obviously, you're going to lose your numerical advantage. So we kind of kept the back five intact, but it was more we had Johnny on each side, kind of releasing a little bit higher, so it was almost like a 4-4-1 that kind of turned into a back five. It was just about staying compact, not letting balls into the middle, not getting balls over the top. I mean, I think you saw Julio, Leo, Ring, Nick, Johnny, Adam, I think they all defended balls in behind them all game long because that's all they were looking for. They were looking for that long ball. They were looking through that ball through lines on the ground, and they obviously connected on the last one that turned into a goal, and it's unfortunate to lose a result on something like that.
¿Qué tan importante es tu rol en el equipo junto a Valencia, sabiendo que Owen no está y aparte Ring está jugando atrás? ¿Cómo manejan esa dinámica en la media cancha?
Casi igual. Valencia es tremendo jugador también, es más defensivo él que Owen. También puede hacer las dos, pero con Valencia me siento un poco más libre de ir para arriba, sabiendo que él está atrás y que va a romper lo que venga. Pero no creo que cambie nada, seguimos haciendo lo mismo. Cada quien con su rol y enfocarnos en lo que tenemos que hacer.
¿Y te sientes a gusto al jugar un poco más libre y más ofensivo y dejar que Valencia quede atrás?
Sí, cualquiera de las dos. Me toca defender, defiendo, me toca atacar, ataco. Lo que quiera el profe.
Esto es Otra, por favor. This is One More, please.
Hi, welcome to Otra, por favor. This is Richie, and I just got done recording an episode with the Tiaras. It was an awesome episode. That episode will be going out this week, along with this short recording, mainly because every time I'm part of the press conference after the games, speaking of it, Austin FC, after the Austin FC games, I want to highlight what was said and what is my perspective from the press conference, especially from the response from either Wolf. This past weekend, it was Danny and Stuber, the ones that were part of the press conference in the mix-up area. So I want to first mention Austin FC lost in a last-minute play against Dallas. Transition ball. It was a disputed ball up in the air. Dallas ended up winning it, and then Ferreira took advantage of the long ball that it was given to him from the midfield. And in that play, if you guys go back and look at it, it was a misstep from Cascante. I think Cascante could have done a little more, and he wasn't the last man. So pull his shirt, slide something, shove him a little bit, even if you get the yellow. But this is how you sometimes you play football just to just get a little dirty and then just go out there and dispute those balls, especially when you have a player like Freire that can finish the plays similar to what happened here. Um, after the game, went to the press conference, and the focus of the press conference, or just the main, I would say, take, or what I feel like Josh Wolf emphasized was, and just they need to win. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter who scores, they just need to win. And I think that's actually true. Um, Coming from listening to what Sonny Guadarrama said a couple of weeks ago in an episode where he appreciates his coaches that win no matter what. And at the end of the day, the results matter. And maybe at the beginning of the season, it was I think it was too early to to focus on where we're positioned on the table and if we're winning games or not. But now I feel like the pressure is there. You can sense it. The players, they felt they hit pretty hard on them. Now because we're playing at home, we're not winning at home, especially in the MLS. Putting aside the U.S. Cup, it's been tough for the team to get a result. So a win, no matter what, is gonna alleviate some of the tension, alleviate some of the bring less confusion. I asked Wolf what was something different that he noticed, or like saying the training part. What is something that they did different this game compared to the previous games, and he pretty much asked me which previous games, and at first I was thinking of so many, but then my mind came LAFC. That's the game that I feel like the team really didn't compete as they should. And then from that, it just came out where they're really trying to compete. It's just not working out, but they try to find different methods or different ways of defending or attacking. Sometimes when you're like saying the training, he talked about attacking in a disadvantage or defending with a disadvantage. So several things, but he didn't want to undermine the performance of the players in previous games, and I respect that. He wants to protect the players. I think that's what a good coach would do. Now I hope that was consistent throughout the season. That's another different subject though. Now we went to the mix up part, and we have Stuber is the first one that came out, and I spoke to him, pretty much asked him how does he feel now that the defense seems to be healthy and no injuries. How's that comforting for them? He pretty much stated that the guys really did the best they can to clear the balls, especially after adjusting from getting the red card that Rodney Redes got, which I'm gonna touch next about. But he pretty much said they knew Dallas was gonna go out and play transition balls, not really much up in the air, but just play long balls that would just go through the defenders. Unfortunately, it was a disputed one where Ferreira took advantage of the long ball, and by the not even, it's not the lack of effort, but just the bad timing that Cascante had. They ended up scoring. So then after that, Danny was there, and I asked Danny I would say the dynamic with him and Valencia in the midfield. How's it been, especially since there's been injuries and since Wolf is being called for the U.S. national, the U20, going to the World Cup, and he pretty much said his goal is to go out there, and if he needs to defend, he will defend. If he needs to play forward, he'll play forward. Whatever the coach wants him to do, he'll do. He's actually been doing that, so I hope that he continues to grow. and hope that now that Owen is not going to be in the team for some time because of the U20 World Cup, that the style of play and the way Danny and Valencia are, working in the midfield, that continues to build a strong foundation, because you're setting the backbone. If you're starting to get healthy defenders and you're starting to get midfielders that understand each other, that they don't get in each other's way when they defend or when they attack, or they go run to the same place, that is going to be detrimental, or that's going to be crucial as we're going to the like I would say the I mean, the season's still long, but you need a good midfield, and I feel like them two together playing more games together is gonna help the team, because you're seeing something different. There's a little more of a in the dynamic they have. They're a little more of a switch: one defend, one attacks, one attack, one defense. As long as they're not up in the same area doing the same thing, then respecting each other's space is going to be the key for them. And in the offense, Urruti has to be the one that starts. That just there seems to be a different Austin FC when Urruti starts compared to Sardes. I don't want to throw or say something. It's not that Sardes is just a bad player, but it's just right now it's just not it for him. Right now the momentum is not in his favor. Anything that's going around in the team and the defense part for him, it's not playing in his advantage. And sometimes it's better to either you put out or be that super sub that we need, because we still need, like, say, once Urruti gets injured or if he gets hurt, we need someone to replace him. But I believe Urruti should be the one starting the games. I mean, if you feel like you have a different point of view, send me a message and we can talk about it. But I think Sardes just needs more time figuring out like what Austin FC can do. And I think having Urruti up top can help us answer that question, and also help him have clarity when he comes in as a super sub. Last but not least, I want to emphasize on Rodney's red card. Rodney has been fighting for a spot. Maybe just the timing of the injuries, and he's getting more playing time. But in minute 20th, he did a pretty good run following Ferreira, and pretty much went all the way to the back line of Austin FC and contained that attack. Whenever you have a winger that's wanting to get a spot, or trying to get more minutes, this is what you do. This is what you do as a player that is really trying to earn something in the team, and do something different compared to the previous 2 seasons. So all I can say is, unfortunate red cards, because he was not focused. But I would much rather have a player that, yes, it's a red card. 2 yellows. But I'd rather have a player with that intensity, because then you can learn to control that intensity as you play more minutes, than to have a player that you're trying to push to do something. You have a player that's really wanting to do something. You already know the intensity is there. Now it's just a matter of how can you help help him stay calm, remain focused. That's when you work at. That's when you add to a player that's really trying to get somewhere. So it's I would say it's a tough one, because Fagu is still not ready yet to play. But the Rodney just needs the time, and I hope as Rodney's getting those minutes, also Kip Keller, hope he comes back to the main roster and gets the minutes in the defense, because he's making he's starting to do very good with Austin FC too. There's a couple other players, but I think we need to start. We need to just turn the page and play for wins. Play for wins, no matter how, and take advantage of the potential that the team has. With Austin FC two, with players like Keller that are making a comeback in their career. I think they needed to feel that support system, and he was able to get it, and I hope he can find the same when he moves up to the main roster again, because he's just a player that needs direction, and that needs to be taken back to or set down or shut down. Like this type of players, you just gotta know how to guide them, gotta know how to just take them under your wing, or hold them by the hand, literally speaking, like figuratively speaking, and hey, you know what? We already know you can play hard, but this is how you can do it to avoid having, whether it's mistakes or whether it's getting red cards. So this is it for today, and looking forward to the games that are gonna be coming out on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, which is probably when you're looking at this episode, the game the game was already played. Hopefully, we get a result or we get a tie from Seattle. Tough game, and then we come back and play at home against Toronto. Insignia is gonna be in town, so team with big names, and also Bernardeschi. So it's time to shine. It's time to do the team. It's time for the team to do what they gotta do to get those wins. That's just the focus. Thank you for everyone listening to this short solo version of Otra por favor. I'll stay safe. Also stay on the lookout for the episode with the Tierras. It was amazing, and you guys take care. Also, any questions, comments, any thoughts, you can send me a message. You can be the email or via DM on social media. Adios.